Previously on bucket positioning valve repair.
I fear that this bucket positioning valve may have rotted out. Today is the second day I've been working on fixing the bucket positioning valve on my Bobcat. I feel like I own the project. There's no doubt that I know that this is going to turn out fine. My only concerns are when I put the bucket positioning valve back in, I get a good seal so I don't have any drips coming from the hydraulic lines. I've been a little bit nervous about the project. I've kind of got this like adrenaline rush going because I'm excited about it. But at the same time, I realize there's quite a bit of work to do. This is how my workbench is looking. And this is about as dirty as you'll see it. And before I move anywhere farther forward on this project, what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean this up a bit. Last night I came out and I took my scraper and scraped that off a bit. And I put some WD-40 on there. I heard that that can help to take off adhesive. This piece here is actually bolted together. So if I just take off this piece and this other piece over there, I can just lift this off. I'm going to pick up a new one of these. This is the piece that's all rusted. Over here, this is all that rust. I think the reason this piece rotted out was because of this foam. It just caught the water and trapped it. Look at all that rust. But I'm pretty sure that this is for sound deadening, and so I'm going to probably order another piece of this. And if you could smell the garage now, that's WD, and I mean there is just such a strong WD smell in the garage. I might actually put a fan in here. I want to come in here today and just vacuum out some of the shavings from drilling out the rivets, clean up that grease. I was having a hard time getting this nut off because I couldn't get a purchase on it with my pliers. But what there is there's a little hole here. So the secret to getting this guy off is to find the little hole, and you can just put, I've got an Allen wrench here, and don't use an expensive one because there's a lot of torque. This nut was rusted on. So you just put an Allen wrench through that, and then this is just a jam nut. Underneath here, I think these squirrels, I have some red squirrels on the property, and I think they're making their little nests in there. So I want to get in, and there's a whole bunch of grass and leaves underneath. Let's see if I can show you that. Right down in there, I want to vacuum all that junk out too. And then I also just want to check all my fittings here and see if there's any rust on any of these fittings. So the day is done here, and I did get done everything I wanted to get done, and it was quite a bit of cleaning. I mean, there was just grease and oil everywhere. I'm happy to say that all the pieces are cleaned, and now it's pretty much a matter of reassembly. So here's all the pieces nice and clean and organized. So I can just, when I start putting things together, I can just start grabbing things and be all set. I don't like the rust on these threads, so I'm definitely going to order this piece here. And then there was one more. There's a larger one and a smaller one I'm definitely going to order. But I've got all my parts cleaned off here, so everything is where I can see it, and I can just start reassembling one piece at a time. I took off the levers. As long as I take my time putting them back on, I feel fairly confident that I'll get them where they belong. I noticed that there is a nick in the like an indentation on these where they were laying. I really don't think it's that crucial. Basically, the end of one of these was, like 1/8 of an inch past the end of the bracket that held it, and the other one was flush with the end. So I figured worst case I'd go flush, but based on the impression here, I can just line them up right where they were, and everything will be fine. And then this thing was just loaded with grease. I'm a pretty liberal greaser, so it was loaded. So we got this piece all cleaned off. And then there's the old bracket, which I'm going to hold on to. In the olden days, I'd throw that right on the junk pile. But heaven forbid something happens and, the part that comes in is not right. Worst case, I can take this one to the dealer and give them an exact piece to show them what things look like. If I had all these parts, I could start putting stuff back together tomorrow. The stuff's not going to be here till next week. So that is the end of today's work, and when we edit it, I'm really not sure where it's going to come out, whether this is going to be one video. There was a lot of stuff seemed to happen to me today, but next video, hopefully we'll start putting stuff together. I will start assembling either the bracket, putting stuff on the new bracket that rusted out, or replacing hydraulic lines if I decide I want to go ahead and get those new hydraulic lines. But we'll start reassembling, and we'll take it one step at a time, and it wouldn't surprise me if once or twice I do things out of order or I put something on reverse. And the key is I'm just going to try not to get frustrated and just realize it's the first time, and keep going from there. So hey, we'll see you next time, folks, and thanks for watching.